Yeah, and I guess it's just some of it's how they guard, how they defend, and we've been able to exploit it. I thought last time, obviously, we all scored. We had 16 threes, but Dean 9 for 9, and Barry had a good run, but we had pretty good balance with some other guys too. I think what was it, 8 guys or 9 guys hit threes or something like that. Eight, maybe it was eight. I don't know, but but they, it's always fun to see guys go and score, and that's a positive thing. And I again, it's funny. Every game's different. Every team you play has different ways of guarding, defending, matchups, and it just seems like obviously the last 2 years this has been pretty good for those guys.
Without Cartier, it seems like the last two games, especially against West Virginia, you had to rely more on bigs off the bench, going with James and Nigel and Austin. Is it at all concerning that those guys didn't give you a little bit more in some of those games?
Well, that game you have to play them because they're big and they're physical and they pound you inside, and we had major foul trouble. So that's the guys you gotta use. You know, it, we got to get something out of them. It doesn't, even if it's fouls, defense, whatever. And I thought everybody contributed against West Virginia. And playing post D, being physical, not giving an inch to them, and we want them to score. There's no doubt we want them to get some rebounds, but you hope over this next couple games, maybe whether it's James or Austin or Nigel, whoever, somebody maybe takes a step and gives us a little more.
I know you talked about it this morning, but would you mind just resharing an update on where Cardi's status is and kind of how far along he might be?
Well, you're about, what is it, 7 days, 8 days from surgery. Yesterday they really, you couldn't do physical activity until, as Luke put it, our trainer, that he didn't feel his heart in his finger. So it's got to heal. Everything's got to happen. So if he was running and the finger was throbbing like his heart, he couldn't do it. But he's at that point now where he can do some stuff. He did some ball handling yesterday. He did a lot of one-handed right hand passes when we did shooting, and he just did a variety of things. I saw this morning he was on the treadmill, probably for the first time, and starting to work on muscle groups. And then Luke is continually, I think it's 3 times a day, working on strengthening his hand and keeping the mobility in his hand so it doesn't stiffen up. We'll just slowly but surely. I know next week, I think it's 2 weeks out, Thursday, whatever, is a big day. The stitches, or one of those days next week, taking stitches out. Probably another X-ray, to see where he's at.
I know the physical part kind of is what it is, but has he been able to at least stay upbeat mentally through this?
I think the first couple of days, he was very down and disappointed, and I think that first day when he found out he had to have surgery, he actually wanted to leave, and I wouldn't let him leave. I said, you're on our team. You got to stay here. You got to take care of business and help us and learn and teach and be a leader and cheerleader. And and since then, I think he's been very upbeat. I mean, it's like I told you guys before. There's things happen in life, and you can't do anything, and you got to make the best of it. Right now, I'm trying to make him into a real good right-handed, improve his right hand, and get something out of it. So maybe he'll make right-handed layups or right-handed free throws. I don't know, something, but get something out of and make a positive from a negative.
What kind of growth have you seen from X this season from last season?
Well, I think he's been more consistent. He still has, and everyone does. They have their downs. That the older you get, the more consistent you are. I think that's the more dependable you are. He was a good defender last year. I think he's even, become a defensive stopper, and taking a lot of pride into that. In that, he's since Dean went out in December, his rebounding has been, really good for us. And it seems like second half of each game, he goes and gets those big rebounds in traffic, when we need him on stops. He leads us on the play hard, which, he didn't a year ago. I mean, he's done, and that's, you think about how many steals Barry gets, and but he had 11 against West Virginia on the play hard, which, it's deflections, it's, just him being very, very active. So, so I guess in a nutshell, he's advanced his game. He's more diversified and I hope more, a little more consistent. Obviously, I want him to make some layups too. That would be nice.
It's kind of down the stretch of last season that Xavier kind of took a step, double-digit scoring efforts, and of course Kentucky is now coming off of this 19-point performance, maybe a sign that he could take more control.
Well, I just think consistency is the big thing, and if he has those 2 dead layups, and then so you make those 2, you have 23. So, just being consistent on everything. And the game, and he had been pretty good, and then he had obviously everyone has bad games. He didn't have the good game against Iowa State, and if we just have one more guy probably play well, even with all their threes, you have a chance to get that thing. But I think he's made steps of being consistent, and that is he perfect yet? No, but he's come a long way, obviously, since freshman year.
He mentioned that when he had to slide over to the 4, a bigger adjustment was probably on offense because of the way you use him. Is that an area where you feel like he's improved the ability to go back and forth?
Yeah. Freshman year I begged him to play 4, and he didn't really want to, and we had to at times. Sophomore year, obviously, he was forced into it, and he really accepted it, and I think he found out he can use it to his advantage. The mismatches, you got bigger guys guarding him, and if he moves without the basketball and runs the screen, guys have trouble keeping up with him. So I think he's by default he figured out, hey, it's not bad to play that. I begged Wesley Iwundu to play 4 for us for 4 years, and he just, even when I tried, he just, it would be by my name only. He would not do what he was supposed. And ironically, he's with the Orlando Magic, and he texted me, guess what, Coach? They got me at the 4, and it's just, so it's kind of funny how, especially in this day and age with small ball that, it doesn't, I think guys worry about what they are. Just be a ball player and take advantage of whatever advantage you have over your opponent, whether it's you're shorter and quicker or you're bigger and you can post up, whatever it might be. And maybe he's figuring that out a little bit.
Is Dean still heading in the right direction with his school?
He won't practice. He shot yesterday. He was pretty sore, and we didn't get back to 3. They got back at 3:10 a.m. So Tuesday's pretty much a wash, and then we didn't practice yesterday. We just shot, but he will. The only thing he'll do today is 5-on-0 and shooting. And obviously you got Saturday, Monday. You got to keep him for that. The bad part, and we just were kind of talking in a staff meeting, and I don't know how much improvement we can get in practice, but it is what it is, and I'd rather have Dean in the games than Dean in practice. So.
Do you have to change strategy at all when he's not able? Like last game, he didn't really jump, attack the basket all that much. Do you have to play it just a little bit differently when
I don't know. Kind of laugh like TCU that second half in the Big 12 tournament. We just told him to go right in the corner, and they were going to worry about him, and no one knew he was hurt, but we did. And, you can, I guess in some ways you can use him as a decoy. The other thing is we play through him because everyone worries about him. You feed him in the post, and they double him or dig down, and he makes the right pass. We get it moving, and we're really good. They get it to him on the perimeter, and he can get by a big guy and make somebody help. He moves the ball. So when he's a ball mover, it really, really helps us. He does, he's gotten a lot of assists, and his turnover is really good, but a lot of times he gets those hockey assists where he starts it, and he's not going to get credit for it, but because of them worrying about him, that makes a big difference.
Last time you guys played them, you set a single game school record for a conference game for 3-pointers. Is there anything from that you could carry over, or was that just one great shooting night?
I mean, it was. I kind of laughed because what happened when Iowa State had a bye. they made a bunch of shots. So you have your fresh legs. You got, both of us went on the road. You got in the gym and you got some shooting in. You got fresh legs, maybe a fresh mindset. But the good thing is we moved the ball, and that's what we showed them yesterday. It was great shooting, but it was wide open shots because we moved the ball and spread their defense and got them kind of scrambling around. Hopefully that'll be the same, but we obviously Iowa State last week we didn't shoot the ball well to start the game, and every game's different. But you got to adjust within the game and find ways to do things.
How impressed have you been with Oklahoma State kind of not packing it in? They were competitive for 30 minutes at KU, and then they beat TCU.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully it got our guys' attention. We got in the locker room. I did radio, and I found out they beat TCU, and I went back to the coaches and I said, "Good news," and they didn't even know it at that time. I don't know if the phone didn't work there or something, but I said, we got something to get our guys' attention. You got to give Mike credit. They've scrapped. They've had suspensions. They've had a bunch of stuff, and they don't quit. And those guys, they're feisty. But we, obviously we beat them pretty soundly. They came back the next game and. They're leading Kansas in the second half, so it's they were leading Texas in the second half on the road also. So it's and then they beat TCU. So it's they've done a nice job. They scrapped. Lindy Waters is as improved as anybody in the league. They got the two freshmen do some good things. We got to defend them. If we keep a good mindset with. Being focused on a guarding, hopefully that'll be helpful.
This team has achieved some things throughout the year that hadn't been done by K-State teams in several decades. One of them, I know every game's important, but if you beat Oklahoma State, it'd be the first time since 1988 K-State's beaten Oklahoma State 4 straight times. What would be the significance to that?
Well, it would keep us in first place. That's the biggest thing, and I think that's most important. Obviously, for the other night, the seniors to go to West Virginia and win on the road is you kind of give them bucket list things and motivational things, and this would be another positive step for them. But the big thing is just stay in first place, and that's what we want to do.
I know it's maybe more about the players since they're actually the ones wearing them, but do you get excited for the lavender jersey?
Oh, I think it's cool. I mean, I know the fans love it. They look good. I thought I still. We played them last year at Oklahoma State. If you remember, we wore them on the road game too. So I hope it a little bit of excitement to it. The throwback, great memories of special times in K-State basketball history, and it was kind of their. No one else had them, so they had something no one else in the country had, and you recognized it. And I get a lot of crazy texts from people. What in the hell are those things? And so people from away don't understand, but the people close, I think they like it and appreciate it.
Do you have anything lavender that you can break out for the game?
I don't have anything. I have some lavender socks my wife got me for this game, so I think she wants me to wear those. I will.
Tell us about that. Are you going to dress like Coach Hartman again?
I think another kind of throwback sport coat. I think I'll try to wear.
Barry seems like the hardest worker. He's the best player in the league on both ends of the floor. Does he have any flaws?
Oh yeah. I yell at him more than anybody, but he has the biggest. I think the biggest thing is he has the biggest heart. I was telling an NBA guy before our game, West Virginia. He just happened to be in the hotel. I said, "Out." And I've coached some really good players, Olympians, All-Stars, NBA All-Stars, #1 draft pick, #3, but I don't know if anyone works any harder. And Rodney Magruder was special, but, this, and then you throw in his leadership, and, it puts him at a high level. There's no doubt. And he's taken our team on his back several times in the last 2 years, and, which really helps. And I, you just want him to finish on a great note, and that would be obviously for his sake. It would be great.
Does Dean's experience give him an advantage in bouncing back from an injury?
I hope so. You know, you guys know he's, Iowa State. He didn't practice last week, and then he's a little cautious at the beginning of the game. And, I thought he was he didn't practice at all. I didn't even know if he played before West Virginia. I thought he was a little more assertive. So hopefully, Luke and I went back and forth this morning, just, how much can we do with them? And with, again, with the Saturday, Monday, you gotta, I don't know if we're going to have time. We just got to hope it heals. In this stretch here, we got 2 open windows this week and next week, where we, you got 4 or 5 days between games, and we can slowly get him healthy and maybe get a little practice before the Big 12 tournament. We'll see.
What's Cam's situation?
He has that toe. It's not turf toe, but it's similar. He won't practice either today.
Did you have any interaction with Lou Henson when you were at Illinois?
Yes, I did. Oh yeah, we coached against him for, I was at Purdue for all those years, and he was at Illinois all the time. And then, obviously, I went to Illinois, and we always had him back and be part of our program.
I think it surprised some people that Austin was so far down in rotation the last game. Is that just where he is right now, or was it the setup of the first half?
It was the big guys, big physical guys, and we just needed somebody to body Culver. So, but he got in second half and did okay. Now maybe he gets another look here.
I know you said after the game on the radio that you kind of wanted all the students and fans to make sure the focus stays on Oklahoma State, but do you have to continually remind your players that, or do you think they
I don't say a word to them because I don't, but I know I'm not stupid. They know what's Monday and between social media but the whole thing is, do you have the maturity? And that's where Barry and Dean and Cam, this is their leadership. This is, they got to be the ones. This is their opportunity. All I keep talking about is the only regrets in life you have are things you don't do, and don't have a major regret because you didn't do what you were supposed to do.